And welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Here we are back in the pantheon of the, let me turn up the microphone. Oh, yeah, the gain on this thing. Oh, yeah. So maybe I came in a little under hot. What is not hot? What's the opposite of hot? Chilled? Episode 195 over here, sitting here. I believe the camera's going to shut off at any point. Oh, Nova, stop. Recording a very busy podcast. Okay. Anyway, here we are, 195. We're talking about Paramount Plus. Nova, please. Talking about Paramount Plus. She's very vocal today. She wants to go back outside. She was outside for a little bit, hanging out on the porch, because it is a warm sunny day here in Atlanta, Georgia. I believe it's about, my watch says 63, but it feels like 75. March. It's cold. Should be cold. Anyway, there were other things that had popped up this week, and then but last week I planned this. I previously planned this is gonna be an episode about Paramount Plus, because I thought it was going to be this whole spectacle. They have been talking about this thing. They're like, oh, ViacomCBS is going, oh, this is going to be the next big thing in streaming. We're going to share our shows with everybody. If you want the rights to Key and Peele, we'll give you the rights to Key and Peele, but we'll also have Key and Peele on our streaming platform. And we're going to have these great, it's going to be a universe full of Star Trek stuff. We're going to have new shows, 60 minutes plus, SpongeBob Years, Camp Coral, the new SpongeBob movie. All this stuff is going to be great. And then, I'll tell you a little story. I woke up on Thursday. I was waiting for this. I woke up on Thursday, and I usually when a streaming platform, and this is true, when a streaming platform has released, when it's Disney Plus, HBO Max, and Peacock, for instance, all three of those, not Quibi because I'm not stupid, but when those three launched, I woke up right before the gym, my 4:30 wake up time, and I download the app, and I peruse through it, and I go, okay, what's going on, how we do this and all this stuff, and then I'm excited to watch it the rest of the day. I woke up, I went to the gym for Paramount on Thursday for Paramount Plus. Woke up, went to the gym. Gym was boxing. Thursday was boxing. So boxing or mid cycling session when I was watching Peloton, I went, oh, Paramount Plus. I can't wait to get home, I guess. Got home as soon as I connected to Wi-Fi. Cleaned my phone because I was at the gym. Washed my hands for 20 seconds. And fed the cat. Made breakfast. Turned on CBS this morning, which is something I do every single Monday through Friday. And then when I sat down with my breakfast, I loaded up that app. Ooh, baby, I pressed that logo, the Paramount Plus logo on my phone. Ooh, baby, let's see what this bad girl can do. Oh, I felt I felt gross saying that. Popped it open. Looks just like CBS All Access. Oh, no. Popped it open first. Paramount Plus. Splash screen. Oh, beautiful logo comes up. Looks just like CBS All Access. So, there was that. And, I'm glad they built it on the back of the functionality of CBS All Access. I'm glad they did that. And I figured one of two things could happen. It's going to be a new app, or they were just going to use the foundation they already have. Smart to use the foundation they already have. Instead of having you, like HBO Max, be confused and have to download a completely new app. Even if you point people to a different app, it's going to take people a while because, hey, sometimes they don't turn on the Apple TV in that room. They don't turn on the Fire TV in their office. It's just people are watching these things at their office. So it's or my PlayStation has been turned on in a couple of days, you know, it just so anyway. So I'm glad they built it off the back, but I thought they would do like a UI overhaul, and it's possible to do a UI overhaul because Hulu's app did a UI overhaul for when it relaunched, and now it relaunched for when it became a part of Disney proper, and after the buyout from Fox, and it looks great now. It looks great. Discoverability is wonderful, and most importantly, you can make a wish list, which you can't do on CBS All Access, which is frustrating because there's a lot of, they got the Godfather trilogy, but you have to remember that it's on there. The only reason I know is because I looked at the app about an hour ago, and I know that it's on there. Like, oh, okay, all right, good. I keep forgetting. I keep meaning to watch, spend 7 hours in one day watching all those movies. It'd be like 8 hours. It's just, just small things. But I'm interested in seeing what they do. They should not have touted it as this new great thing. I understand that they're advertising, but it just doesn't make sense in the long run for you to come out and say during the Super Bowl. And I know the Super Bowl aired on CBS, but still, and you have to advertise the stuff that you have. But still, all these commercials with we're going to the top of Paramount Mountain, the mountain of Paramount. It just doesn't make sense. And then to relaunch, and it looks exactly the same, with no queuing or wish list or whatever ability there is that Netflix, Peacock, the camera shut off, HBO Max, any of these other ones have. Give me 1 second. I'm going to turn on this godforsaken camera. Maybe one day, maybe just for a little bit, this show will be without video. Anyway, so I am enjoying my time, obviously, with it. This episode, again, is going to be all about Paramount Plus. So let's get to this. I bought a new mouse. It is an MX Master 3, $100. I want people to know this mouse is cost $100 because that's ridiculous that I spent that much with no job on a mouse. But my other mouse was a Logitech gaming mouse, and it had a notable clicking issue where one click would double click and no clicks would double click. So I finally, after putting up with that for the better half of a year, I finally just said, you know what, I gotta get this mouse. It is the best productivity mouse. I've been looking at it for about a year myself. Oh, Jesus, I just clicked on something. Works with Bluetooth. Already hooked it up to everything that needs to be hooked up to. But it is not good for gaming because I've tried. And believe it or not, this 6-year-old Lenovo Yoga 900 can still play a game because it is, in fact, a Core i7. Let's get to this. 7 minutes in. 7 minutes in. This comes from the Wrap. Paramount Plus ad-supported subscription will cost less than CBS All Access, written by Tim Basinger. No relation. So we know how much CBS All Access cost. It was $6. $6 for your access to CBS All Access, and that includes local CBS affiliate. No, that does not include. You have to sign in with your TV provider. And then there's a $10 a month one without ads, and the first one was with ads. But now the cheaper version of Paramount Plus is going to be $5, which is a great entry price for a streaming platform. And then $10 for the commercial free. But there's a catch. The ad-supported one will be it'll no longer give you a live feed of CBS stations. And now, that's only for the premium tier. And then you don't have to sign up with your TV provider, so I was wrong. So then why did I sign in with YouTube TV? Crazy. And then that $5 tier will be available in May. But for now, you can only get commercial free, which is interesting because it's the same thing that HBO Max. That's the same the same thing that HBO Max is doing. They're going to do. Warner Media is planning an ad-supported tier at a later date, probably later in 2021, probably in the summer. So There's going to be a cheaper way to watch HBO Max stuff. There's going to be a cheaper way to watch. It's interesting how you see these streaming platforms launch and they become these big things, and people have Disney Plus hit subscriber count it thought it was going to hit in 5 years. It hits it in 2 years. And Netflix is raising prices seemingly every single year, and we know these price hikes are coming. But it just doesn't matter because people like me will still pay to watch all the TV possible. I will not pay for Discovery Plus. You will not get me. I don't watch reality TV, baby, except for Survivor and Amazing Race. So we have we've got this new tier coming, and that's going to be that's a great entry point because Disney Plus is $7, and at some point it's going to be $8, and then Peacock is $8. But people love Disney, so I don't think we should give that. We should say like, hey, this is comparable. I think the camera just shut off again. Maybe this is just going to be an audio podcast for now. Moving on. The movie strategy is for Paramount Plus is for the streaming era. This comes from Variety, written by Brett Lang, Cynthia Littleton. ViacomCBS overhauls film strategy with new theatrical windows and epics pack. So we know that Universal last year, at the start of the pandemic, it said, "Hey, Trolls World Tour, we're gonna release that movie on streaming because the movie theaters weren't open. We're gonna release it on streaming." And people at home, and so this is like April. People are at home, just like, fine, please let us. Our kids need to watch this movie. And so if you have Hulu, you have Peacock, you can watch it on there, or you can rent it VOD for $20. And then this did so well; it did gangbusters. They made more money than the first Trolls movie. Bada bing, bada boom. They say, listen. This thing exceeded our expectations. We're going to release movies day and date on streaming. And then we also in theaters. And then people were like, whoa, that's crazy cool. And then every other studio was like, whoa, bro, you want to slow down? And then people in the movie industry were like, hey, you don't do that. That's rude. That's horrible. AMC said, the F is going on here. So then Universal AMC, they hammer out a deal, 90-day pack. 3 months. It goes in theaters, then it goes to streaming. Then we got ViacomCBS coming in here with something different. Almost a year later, we're going to say this. Paramount will substantially shrink the amount of time its films are in theaters. At the same time, the studio has adjusted its pay TV output deal with Epix in order to provide thousands of movie titles to the nascent Paramount Plus streamer. Paramount Pictures will disclose that it is experimenting with a shorter exclusive exhibition window for theatrical releases instead of the traditional 90 days between theatrical release and the at-home release. Paramount will look to a 30-day frame for most titles and a 45 theatrical day window for tentpole titles like Top Gun Maverick. That's in keeping with moves by rival studios to shake up the status quo of 3-month wait that has frustrated studios. So maybe I think the Universal thing was 45 days. So my bad. Oh, I'm just getting things wrong left and right. Camera shut off again. Moreover, to help give some sizzle to the March 4th debut of Paramount Plus, a rebrand and expansion of the CBS All Access streaming service, Paramount Plus, plans to have its high-value wattage titles like Mission Impossible 7 and A Quiet Place Part 2 premiere on Paramount Plus after the 45-day theatrical release window. I'll tell you what. I will not be doing that. I got to see those movies in theaters, especially Mission Impossible. A Quiet Place, I could probably go without seeing it. I could probably go without seeing it. The first time I saw A Quiet Place, it had just hit Hulu, and I said, I'm going to watch this movie. I was alone, but I texted the girl I was dating. I was like, I'm going to watch this movie. She's like, oh, I've seen it, and enjoy your time. So I watched, I turned the movie on, and the movie's notably quiet. Like there's no dialogue for the 90-minute runtime or whatever. So I sit down. I have a sound bar on my television, and I sit down and I quite literally sit on the remote to the sound bar. It turns the sound bar off. I would say right when the little boy gets snatched. That's like within 10 minutes of the start of the movie. Little boy gets snatched by one of the monsters. The littlest kid gets snatched by one of the monsters, and then it goes black, and I go, wow, yeah, that's crazy. And then for, I am not kidding, 40 minutes, because I remember the movie was almost over. Like they were just, it's like beating the like I think, you know, they were trying to escape the farm or wherever they were, and and the entire time I go, man, this movie's really quiet. Like they're really taking this to heart. And then I try to turn it up, and then the sound bar turns back on, and I hear, you know, the noises, the ambiance of the movie, and I go, are you freaking kidding me? I've been watching this movie in silence. Oh my God, it's so sad. Anyway, so now Paramount Plus is going to be and then the second time I watched the movie with somebody else, and I didn't want to see it again, but I had to. The end. So now, ViacomCBS signed a pact with Epix. Epix is the premium cable premium cabler, like HBO and Stars and Showtime, and to some extent Cinemax. But instead of being that well known, it's kind of like the poor man's HBO. It really is. It has a lot of good movies and some decent shows, but it's just not worth having. And a lot of stuff you can get on streaming. Epix has been the pay TV home, the camera just shut off, of Paramount Pictures titles for the past 11 years. ViacomCBS has extended its Epix pact by 1 year, covering theatrical titles released through the end of 2023. In exchange, the studio gained a great deal of flexibility in windowing titles. For what it's worth, I think that's a pretty good idea. I just don't think, I also don't like, I don't like it entirely, too much, entirely too much. The same thing I can say for Disney's idea of the Premier Access on Disney Plus, $30 to watch Raya and the Dragon, or Raya and the Hunt, Mulan, the other movies that they put on Premier Access, $20 or $30 for that. And you can only watch it once. If I had kids and I paid $30, I understand it's cheaper than, taking them to the movies, blah, blah, blah. Also, take your kids to movies during the day. Don't do it at night. Don't waste your time with a nighttime trip. Go during the day. The tickets are cheaper. And they'll have a nice little nap after it. Oh my God. I'd be a great parent. I'm just going to find a woman to tolerate me. Anyway, and then HBO, Warner's idea of releasing things same day and date on the on HBO Max and in theaters. I do think there's a median. Shortening the release window is fine enough. And in some cases, as much as I stand with the movie theaters, I think that they need to loosen up when it comes to restrictions with airing. I think AMC needs to go to, I think at some point Netflix is going to buy not a theater chain, but they're going to buy theaters themselves in New York and Chicago and LA and Denver and Austin, San Francisco. I think they're going to just buy up Atlanta. I think they're going to buy up in these high value and high price markets. They're going to buy up some theater chains and or small chains or small theater clusters or whatever, and then they're going to air alongside Mission Impossible 7, they're going to air Roma 2, Roma-er. But I do think that AMC needs, and Cinemark and the rest need to go to Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and say, air your movies here, like put your movies in theaters here for 4 weeks. Because there are people that cancel Prime and they cancel Hulu and they cancel Netflix and they cancel, whatever streamer because The Mandalorian's not on anymore. So cancel Disney Plus. You don't need it if you don't watch anything else on there. All right. Oh, we're just going to blaze on through this episode. No breaks because that camera is going to turn off again. But you know what I will do? If you are watching the video, at this point, I am going to turn on the camera. The camera for the laptop camera. Oh, baby. This is going to be good. It's fine. Just do this live. As Bill Maher once said, F it, we'll do it live. Oh, you said it just like that. Hi, I'm Bill Maher. No, not Bill Maher. Bill O'Reilly. Who I was just thinking about him this morning. Fox News guy. White. Probably racist. Doesn't matter. Let's move on. There was a bunch of announcements for shows coming, and I'm just going to do something really vain here. I have to see myself in the monitor. Okay. There's a bunch of news for shows coming, and one of them happened to be Halo. So we knew the Halo TV show has been in the works for, 5 years now, 5, 6, 7, 8 years now. And at first we thought it's going to be on Showtime, which fine. Halo is a premium brand. Remember Premium Blend? I miss Premium Blend. Halo's a premium brand, and it's got to have a show at some point. I think Tak and the Power of Juju had a show on Nickelodeon. Let me look that up. I specifically remember. Yeah, it did. Tak and the Power of Juju did have a TV show. Also, I don't think that show would be allowed to be made today. Because the character's name is Tak, and it's the Power of Juju. And they're all voiced by whites. Yep, that's a white guy who voiced Tak. That's a white woman. Oh my God, I laughed so hard I had a hiccup. We're just hanging out today. We're not really taking it and there's a bunch of characters called Jujus. Why do I remember this? Was there a Ty what is his name? What his name? 26 episodes. Excuse me. Not 26 episodes. 13 episodes with 26 segments each. Or 2 segments each. So 26. I wonder if that is a good show to find. Because I've been watching a lot of Mad About You. And that show, oh my God. You see where all of the jokes from every sitcom following it came from. Tak and the Power of Juju aired in 480i, 2007. I think things were in HD at that point. Let's see if there's videos on YouTube. I swear I'll get back to Paramount Plus. Oh my God, it is. There's the theme song at least. If you hear Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives in the background, it's because I am playing Diners. Okay. This is the theme song. All right, hold on. I need you to hear this theme song. All right, I'm passing over the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Here we go. That's the theme song. That doesn't sound like you should be playing that at all. Okay, and then there's something else. Okay, anyway, all right. I'm sorry. We got sidetracked. Hey, listen. When you don't have a job, you're just hanging out. That's what's going on. Oop, let me just kick the light. Okay, so let's go on. The Halo TV series is in fact coming. It's not going to be on Showtime anymore. It's going to be on Paramount Plus. I think that's a better move for it in the long run. But I do think, I don't know. I mean, having Showtime needs to have a prestige sci-fi drama like that, because HBO has had a bunch. American Gods is on Stars, and it's, you know, for what it's worth, that show, the fan base is as strong as it needs to be. But this Halo thing is coming. Paulo Schreiber is still going to play Master Chief. Bokeem Woodbine's going to be in it. Shabana Azmi. Bentley Kalu. Wow, this show is diverse. Unless all those people are, except for Bokeem. I know who Bokeem is. Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy? Isn't he dead? Oh my God. Oh, so it was picked up in 2018 for a 10-episode series. And all right. So yeah, that's interesting. We're gonna go see this, how the show will pick up. There's a bunch of video game franchises that have been adapted and or are being adapted. Holy crap! Thank you, Variety, that has this that at the bottom of this article. Castlevania, which is on Netflix currently. The Witcher, Resident Evil, which is coming to Netflix as a live action show. Last of Us, live action show on HBO, probably next year. Cyberpunk 2077 anime in 2022. It'll be delayed for a couple of years, and then when it comes out, it won't be as good as people want it to be. But then you'll have the people going, "Oh, I swear it's good." Halo's coming to Paramount Plus in 2022. Assassin's Creed is coming to Netflix at some point, as is Splinter Cell. Good for Ubisoft. A little late on the bandwagon, though. Diablo is coming in animated form on Netflix. I think Netflix released a Dota trailer for the cartoon show. Fallout on Amazon, really. Tomb Raider on Netflix as an anime. Oh, interesting. Oh, and Splinter Cell is going to be an anime, which is very strange. Assassin's Creed is going to be various types. So I can imagine that being live action and CG and anime. I think that would be a very good way to do it. And then Twisted Metal live action on whatever service wants to pick it up. Interesting. Okay. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. Moving on. ViacomCBS. This is from my notes. Come on, Chad. Believes in sports. Good job, buddy. Worth it. This comes from Deadline, written by Dominic Patton. Paramount Plus doubling down on soccer, NFL, and more sports in clear challenge of Peacock. Now, before I get to the NFL thing, it was announced that Amazon is looking to set a new pact with the NFL for exclusive games. So as it stands right now, Amazon is airing Thursday night, Saturday night games, and a couple of Monday nights, I believe. I know it's doing multiple nights. Anyway, so just say, safely. Thursday night and Saturday night games, like the ones across the pond. Beep, beep, Studio. I need to turn the camera off now. So it's airing those games, and so it's trying to get exclusive games, more exclusive games rather. So maybe Thursday night games instead of being on. Oh no, Thursday night football is owned by NBC. So maybe, a couple of Saturday night games are going to be just for Amazon, and you have to have Amazon to watch it. And I don't know how that pact is going to work for, or maybe some Sunday games where there's too many games in one market. If you're like in a market like I don't know, let's say Atlanta. Maybe you can get a New Orleans game at the same time you get a Falcons game, and maybe instead of having that game, the New Orleans game be optioned over here, it'll just go straight to Amazon. I'm just throwing out stuff. So they're really doubling down on soccer, which soccer has a big following also. But there's a lot to schedule there, as seen with Peacock, which did have trouble during the pandemic because they had all this time, and so games were able to be spaced out. But now, if games can be played, together and simultaneously, then CBS can get, while Peacock has Premier League games, then CBS can get an American League, I don't know, soccer. But sports it's very valuable for streaming, period. For television, period. They're going to double down on soccer, football, American football. Oh, God. And all that stuff. So that's fun. Moving on. I wrote down Paramount Plus is a comedy heaven. This also from Deadline, written by Peter White, no relation, Beavis and Butthead, and Workaholics Movies, a weekly show from Trevor Noah, and Inside Amy Schumer specials lead Paramount Plus comedy slate. I didn't want to specifically talk about specific shows, but I do think that since this is a comedy podcast, I guess, it's a comedy news podcast, I don't know, who cares? Whatever this is, because this is a comedy website, I want to talk about the comedy stuff. So so we know that there's going to be another Beavis and Butthead movie. But we also learned that there's going to be a Workaholics movie coming from the Workaholics guys. So hopefully we get to see Blake, Adam, and Durs do some great stuff. This is going to sound just so stupid. I really enjoyed the Game On movie they did for Netflix. It's not, the hell is that? It's not, quote unquote good, but I had a lot of fun, and there's a lot of funny moments in there. And truth be told, if I can watch a comedy and go, there's this last Friday, the Tom and Jerry movie, when that came out, I was so excited, like unbelievably excited, because I like Tom and Jerry. I'd watched every single episode when I was a child on Cartoon Network, and then Boomerang. Although I was watching Comedy Central when I was a child. Comedy Central airing repeats of Death to Smoochie, which I thought was a movie about Barney, or like a Barney-like character, and it technically kind of is, but I thought it was like a kid's movie, and I watched it. And My Cousin Vinny. So that's how. So those are like a couple of the two first adult movies I ever saw. Grow up as a latchkey kid, and you'll see. You just watch whatever. Have a TV in your room. Anyway, so we've got a Beavis and Butthead movie, and then we have a new show from Trevor Noah, aptly titled The Weekly Show. And they say it's a working title, but I hope they keep that, because that is such a smart title to have accompanying The Daily Show. And I wonder how that show would go. I know it'd probably air on Fridays. Anyway, let me get back to Tom and Jerry. Hold on. Tom and Jerry, I watched it. It was not as good as I wanted it to be. And quite frankly, I was bored. It's a very long movie, and you can't make a Tom and Jerry movie about Tom and Jerry because they don't talk. And thank Christ that they did not talk in this movie, because in the first movie they did talk, the animated version. But this one they didn't talk. So I would just say, the movie's 100 minutes long. There's about 30 minutes of Tom and Jerry sprinkled throughout, because it's Chloe Grace Moretz. She's the main character, and Colin Jost, and the rest, and every other human gets. While they don't get billing, but like they don't. Tom and Jerry are in the credits as Tom the cat, Tom D cat, and Jerry A mouse, which I think is hilarious. That's so funny. But there's animated characters walking around, and it should have been more fun than it was. I really think that if you're gonna do a movie like that, they should hire me. Give me the script. Like, after somebody writes it, give me the script. Give me additional writing credits. I'll do it. I'll freaking add jokes to that thing, and I'll tell people I did. I'm like, yeah, that's my joke. That's my joke. But this thing should have been better. But I'm glad it did well. It's the best performing movie of the pandemic. That and Wonder Woman, both movies that people did not like, but I enjoyed Wonder Woman quite a bit. And as soon as it hits HBO Max again, I'm probably gonna watch it again. Because no one has to die at the end of these things. Jesus. Although I am sick of superhero stuff. Flash came back on. I promise I'll get back to to Paramount Plus. Flash came back this week, and I had no idea. It was 7:55, I think, on Tuesday night, and I watched like an episode of Mad About You or something. Then I turned on YouTube TV, and so I was scrolling. I was channel surfing. I was scrolling through the guide, and then I see the Flash, and I go, "What is the Flash back?" And I immediately Google, and the Flash is back, and I go, "Oh my god!" So I turn it on, and I did not have a good time. I sat there looking at my phone most of the time. Oh my god, I'm just done with superhero stuff. Although I did like Stargirl, for more reason than one. Shut up. So we got the weekly show coming, the Beavis and Butthead movie, and then Inside Amy Schumer, which technically wasn't canceled, and Amy just took a break from it. And then we also have a Reno 911 special called The Hunt for QAnon. So that's going to be interesting to see. Does the world want to see more Beavis and Butthead? I'll answer for the world. No. And then Deadline has a good Paramount Plus landing pad with a bunch of stuff. iCarly's coming back. ViacomCBS targets 65 to 75 million streaming subs by 2024. And remember, CBS All Access was, besides Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, was the first streaming platform. Like when it came out, and I remember going, "Oh, no one's gonna subscribe to CBS. Like, who wants to do that?" This is before All Access too. Nobody wants to do that. And then lo and behold, it's one of the top people who got rid of cable before YouTube TV, before Hulu with Fire TV and Philo and Fubo TV. People said, "We want to watch our CBS. Give us our CBS." And it's one of the best performing ones out there. I still think they should bundle together Showtime Anytime and CBS All Access, or Paramount Plus. Or take some shows from Showtime Anytime and Showtime and throw it on Paramount Plus. Stuff that no one's watching, like The L Word, the original L Word, or a few episodes of Desus and Mero. Escape from Dan and Mora's on Amazon Prime. Just open up a little bit. Okay? Please. Please, baby. All right. And then we have some more stuff that's coming for the streamer, which I think I just wrote what's on tap for the streamer. This is from The Hollywood Reporter, written by Natalie Jarvie. Paramount Plus's pitch: big name reboots, spinoffs, and sequels, plus sports. They had an event last week where they really hyped this up, where they really hyped up Paramount Plus. And so I did learn a few things from this. They really love Pluto TV. Pluto TV is owned by CBS. Before it was only owned by CBS, I think. I don't know. Who cares? It's all in the family now. So now ViacomCBS, say the whole name, has 3 streaming products. They've got Paramount Plus, Showtime Anytime, and Pluto TV, which is free, which is the only free one. They're going to keep it free and ad supported. They're going to keep adding channels to it. You can watch a Becker channel if you want to. If you want to watch Becker, you can watch. My channels are the Saturday afternoon after school cartoons or whatever like that. It's like Archie. It's like Archie cartoons. Archie's Weird Mysteries, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Sonic the Hedgehog, and some other ones. America's Test Kitchen. They have a Golden Girls channel, I think. I don't know. I don't really remember. Anyway, they have a lot of good channels on there. Pluto, and it's free. It's free. All you have to do is watch ads. Who cares? Just watch it. The company says it's they have Showtime Selects. What is that noise? Oh, I think that might be outside. So if you hear something, it's from outside. They're doing some type of construction. It's Atlanta. There's always construction. But yeah, I mean, there we go. That's Paramount Plus. I think it's a very interesting whatchamacallit to have, streamer to have. And you know what, Paramount, if you're watching, I don't say this to be rude or anything. It's not necessary. Then I'm going to follow up with it's nice to have though. So let me just give a little walkthrough of the app. So here's the thing. Gonna hit it, and then it has a nice little splash screen with Paramount Plus, which is fine. Great. Who cares? They have the first new episode of the new Real World Camp Coral, the SpongeBob spinoff. There's a Patrick spinoff coming. There's Tuning Out the News, calling it a Paramount Plus original. And it's actually called Stephen Colbert Presents Tuning Out the News. And it is a show, I can officially say this because they have not called me back, I wrote a packet for. And they did not hire me. I'm only hurt just a little bit. I clicked on 60 Minutes Plus, and for some reason it started playing. Oh, and then beforehand, I clicked on Camp Coral and I watched like a minute, like truly collectively a minute. I skipped around. Not for me, but whatever. I'm not a child. And the emphasis also is also on live shows. So right now they have an on now section. They only have 4 channels on their live on their live schedule.
On the next people.
Oh,
Into the
God.
ground for 8.
That's embarrassing. But this whole show is embarrassing. And again, the emphasis, like Disney and like HBO Max, is on brands. They really want you to know their brand. That's why they renamed it Paramount Plus. I still think they should have kept it CBS All Access. If you're gonna rename it Paramount Plus, redo the app. But there we go. That's the whole rundown of Paramount Plus. It's going to be, I don't know. I think people subscribe to it for the CBS, speaking of brands, for the name of CBS, because they want to get that channel, their local channel. They want to get and all the shows that they love on CBS. Mom, the rest. I watch one show on there, Bob Hart's Abishola, and I love that show to death. It's a very funny show. Sometimes the unicorn, but but not all the time. But it's great. Paramount Plus, $10 right now, $5 in the future for ads. There you go. Listen, if you like what you heard here, head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where you can see me interview comedians sometimes. If you want to see a video version of this show, if you want to see my camera shut off and then me throw up a prepared template that says the Constitutionals will be right back. And then if you want to see me get up in the middle of the show and press record on the camera again. And then if you want to see the camera shut off again, and then if you want to see a webcam video of this show, no joke, I looked at webcams before this because I thought somehow I got to record this show. So if you want to do all that, youtube.com/C+comedy. You can see a 40-minute version of this video form. Also on youtube.com/C+comedy is our premiere show, News Time, which this week, again late, but very, very good. So funny. Oh, just one of the best episodes I've done all year. And I've only done 6, 7, 8, something like that. This week's episode is about the Golden Globes and the HFPA, Hollywood Foreign Press Association, and how this organization, which has representatives from every race, doesn't have any black people, any black journalists in it. So there we go. It's a very funny episode. When I say it's a good episode, it's a good episode. When I don't say, it's not. youtube.com/C+comedy. Twitter, Instagram @C+comedy. Me on Twitter and Instagram @ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Thank you so much for listening. Rate, review, subscribe. Tell your friends about this. There's a good contingent listening to the show for some reason, or not listening. Maybe they subscribed and then they said, "I'm done." I'm done listening to this. I don't know why you would. There's, I think, something like 1 million. When Conan joined, there was 750,000 or 850,000 podcasts, something like that. And then this past December, I think there were like 900 some thousand. So let's just say 1 million. There's 1 million podcasts out there, and you chose to subscribe and listen to this one. I don't know why you would, but I don't ask for money in return. So, do it. Listen, it's free. All right, I'm going. Bye. Goodbye. Bye now.